My baby now.
This is what we do when we take our breaks, just so you guys know. This is it.
I was watching a YouTube video about a salad mixer.
I
posted it for
That's
you.
Definitely not a salad mixer.
It's a salad mixer.
From the thumbnail, it looks like a machine that does something different.
It mixes salads. Rita, I posted for you too. Don't worry. On Discord. Oh, I am a share with Tyler. Tyler,
Hey,
here.
you remember how I told you that
Here you
I
go, Tyler.
first
My
tried
salad
beat the
mixer.
boss in Bloodborne today?
Here you go, Tyler.
You were lying.
Well, I did.
Uh-huh. Did you? You have a clip?
I can pull one.
Yeah?
Wait, didn't you cosplay as Rena?
Yeah.
What?
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know.
Dude, I'd cosplay as Rena. Can it be Goth Rena?
No.
Why did I know you were
Messy
gonna say
called
that?
dibs. Messy called dibs.
Come on,
Oh,
I want to
no.
cosplay as Goth Rena and put it in all of the D&D suites.
Why would you not let me live? Just let me forget it. Tyler.
Let me die.
Just let me fucking die.
I thought it was fine. In all fairness, I didn't know that happened, and then I was like, "Oh, that's fine."
It's just
I
that's
knew.
my that's
Pirates.
It was a
Ha. Pirates.
good fit. I can't even say pirates. Pirate. Ours are so hard. Hard.
Statistically,
saying hard?
3.14% of pirates are sales are pirates.
Oh my god.
Pie.
I just keep saying pie.
Because they're pirates.
I don't know.
Much funny,
Gothria could make
such
a
joke.
comeback in October, but we'll see. I'm
Who?
embarrassed.
You guys remember that episode of
What?
SpongeBob?
You
There's
guys
been
don't-
too much Gotharina.
You guys don't celebrate Halloween down there. You don't have
I mean,
October.
Goth Rena should not happen in the summer. That would be hell in Arizona.
It does essentially happen in the summer, and we're black every day.
You guys don't grow
Yes.
pumpkins. Your leaves don't change colors. You don't experience cool
if I
weather.
drive 2 hours north, I get
I'm
October.
from
Yes.
Ohio, Scott.
But you are also not in a place that celebrates Halloween because you are not in a place that experiences it.
I am in the Halloween capital of the states.
And Tesh also can't celebrate Halloween because for him, flowers are blossoming. Bumblebees are waking up from their long hibernation.
Ooh,
Bunnies are going at it.
Halloween. Oh, and I get to celebrate Halloween at Universal because they do Halloween Horror Nights. That's in Florida.
I mean, you kind of
I'm
get a
flexing messy. I want to go to fucking Disney World.
Oh yeah, I'm going in August. We were gonna go
I
this weekend.
know.
But we have to go in August because they're at
I want
capacity.
to go.
Rena, can we coordinate so we can just hang out and have fun?
Yes.
You guys want to do Halloween Horror Nights this year?
I'm
Where's that
probably gonna be
in
doing something with my daughter.
Tail?
Well, not you. Talk about the fun ones.
I mean, I can do it at
Is it
night,
scary?
but not
I'd
during the
be
morning.
down.
It's
I'd be
really
down
scary.
to do Halloween Horror Night.
I'm not good with scary
It's
stuff.
terrifying.
I'm not good with scary either.
Rena,
We can
I know you
ride
so
it
much as
together.
to shove your
Fuck
friend in the
you,
room and
Scott.
listen. You will
Fuck
leave them there. You will leave them there dead for hours, staring at a can, going, "Why is it moving?" I know.
Scary,
It's
okay?
not
That's just
scary.
Real.
It's a video game.
Phasmophobia?
Yeah,
Phasmophobia is scary.
it's a video game with bad graphics.
It doesn't have to do with the graphics.
It has to do. You know what's scary? Thinking your friends will be there by your side, and they're not.
Scott, quit being a whiny bitch.
That's what I wanted to say, but I thought it'd be inappropriate.
I just want to be
Look at
friends with you
Scott.
guys. You guys are so mean to me.
You guys think we can end D&D early? I want to watch Wade play Norm.
You can check
I want
Levad.
to watch the next episode of Loki.
You could also check Levad.
I honestly was thinking Rena was going to make the wish of like, can I just go back to before all this happened? And then it's the end of Regicide as we know it.
I
Well,
did
Morty
say
comes
that.
out.
but
I'm waiting for you guys to get back on the track now that the Stinky Pinky diversion, now that the Wade's curse is gone. We're done with.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Wade.
I'm ready.
All right, so let's jump back into it. You're able to walk back outside and go, whew, it's a breath of fresh air. Somebody points and goes, oh, thank God they cured her.
Down to come back and I didn't hear it, or
I did 5, 4, 3, 2. Then I was like, da 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 da.
Yeah, so we did the whole song thing.
Yeah, we did the
Well, how did it go again?
around the world.
I can't sing it because if I sing it too well, they're gonna DCMA me.
I could sing it right now because
DMCA.
my voice is completely
DMCA.
Shit ass.
What about shit ass? It's literally the only word I heard. Just shit ass.
I've never said that ever in my life in the way that I just said that.
Yo, so I'm kind of mad. Tyler, I'm kind of mad.
Yeah.
I tried using OBS's thing
Yeah.
where when you make a VOD, it like splits your music into a different channel. So it's just like completely muted in the
It
VOD.
like doesn't work, right?
It cut out my mic. Everything else you can hear. You just can't hear me. The entire VOD is muted.
Oh my god, that's awful.
I'm turning it off. This sucks.
What happened?
Sorry, everyone who wanted to watch me beat the witch on my first try. By the way, I did not beat Vika on my first try. I beat the witch.
Okay, so you guys come walking out of the place with a breath of fresh air, genuinely, for the first time, and since the last time you walked away from her. And you guys are able to kind of like make your plan, what you're going to go do next. I mean, Rena, obviously you had a bit of a moment with Ophios that broke the rules for a minute there. You guys were set. If you guys actually had that conversation out loud, I was going to be able to interject with something, but unfortunately I wasn't able to because I thought you could talk into each other's heads, even though you can't, as per the rules that were pointed out to me that I highlighted right there in chat.
Can you retroactively
sorry.
interject?
Nope. Too late.
Well, there's still time. We're coming back.
Wait. Well, so we heard it, and it was just quiet. Okay.
I don't even remember what I said, so.
That's okay. So you guys are going to head back now that the problem is solved. But how are you going to get back into the bank without anybody noticing you, especially since you're going to be significantly less distracted since the fire in the sky is now old news, like half an hour ago. No, more than it's been over an hour and a half ago.
Oh, well, it's still nighttime, right? It's just getting later.
Correct.
I mean, we could wait or we could. Why go back? Because Ophios is there.
Why go back? Because Ophios is there?
No. Sorry, I was reading Steve's.
Somebody said, "Why go?
He said,
Why go back to the
"Why go
bank?" And
back?"
she's saying, and she asked his question, then answered his question.
I was very
answered it.
confused.
Yeah.
It sounded
No.
like I don't want to go back. Ophios is that.
I'm
bitch
not
is
going there. That's where Ophios is.
where that
God.
dickhead is.
I wouldn't
God.
go there. Yeah, no. No, I'm saying that's why we would go back. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
All right, so you guys are going to go back there, and you more or less want to wait until it's a little bit darker, giving Ophios some more time to twiddle his thumb. Ophios, what are you doing in the interim while they're gone? Because they're gone for about an hour.
I am completely investigating the place.
There's nothing else to find, honestly.
I want to look at that stone that Rena stared at when we were walking past.
Would you have noticed that? Perception check. Nope.
But if he was actively looking at me,
But
Like
he
if
was.
he
He also had something else on his mind. You know what I mean? He was
Good
also
point.
doing something. You know.
I mean, my
That's a good
passive
point.
is a 14.
Yeah, but again, she may have been staring at a spot, but you also had something in the forefront of your mind. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like when you're so busy doing something, you don't realize somebody else around you is like upset, and you're like, "What's your problem?" They're like, "I've been upset all day," and you're like, "Oh, were you?"
It's just you and your wife, dude.
Oh,
Literally just you two.
like the band?
Yeah, dude.
Is that Bono?
It's the Lenny
Is Bono
Kravitz,
you too?
actually. No, it's Lenny Kravitz.
Oh.
Yeah. American woman, stay away
That's you
from
too?
me.
That's not you two.
American woman,
Hey,
mama
that's you
let
two.
me be. Don't come knocking round my door. I don't want to see your
definitely
face no more.
It's definitely Bono. I just looked up. It says the group consists of Bono. It's like the first one in the list. And then three other people I don't know.
Yes, it is Bono.
I couldn't figure out who he was the lead singer of. We were talking about Bono, and I was like, yeah, what's he from? I can't remember. what band.
Bono's the lead singer of Sting as well.
Not gonna lie, for a minute, I did think it was The Who. And I was like, no, The Who's good. So it's not The Who.
All right, let's
So
keep
I
going.
just started referring it to, I started calling it Bono's band, but I couldn't remember what the anyway. Yeah.
Bono's band, that's a good one.
You call it Bono's? Seriously, you too?
Yeah, I called U2 Bono's band, yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's keep going. You, Ophios, you unfortunately don't notice that, and there's nothing else to really. I hate to like shit on your parade, but searching around this place, there's nothing else to find inside here. There's the room as you hid behind before. You checked it out a long time ago, with the brazier and whatnot in it. There's the room of Ophios' statue. Sorry, but you Stog a statue. Stog already spoke to you and gave you some pretty solid advice as to how to handle things and suggested for you to come here for one reason or another. And then there's going back upstairs. That's all you're able to discover.
Which is why the one reason or another was the other temple, which is this place, which to him is, well, we got to go through where this elemental's holding the door open. That was the logic I had for Ophios.
That or something in Hard Gwen.
Is that Vladimir Putin burying a dead body?
It looks like a guy on roller skates on ice.
Rena, so ice is when water gets so cold, it solidifies and expands.
Oh wow, my nose is so itchy.
It's
Oh
a
my
pretty
God.
incredible phenomena that happens in parts of the planet that humans are supposed to live.
You do know that ice forms in Arizona, right?
Yeah,
Or
in the
if you're
mountains.
Rory, it's your house.
What a dick. All right. So you guys, Ophios, unfortunately, there's nothing down there for you right now. They're going to come back. Rita, I need a stealth check for you. And I'm going to roll one for Messy as he walked away. And I hope we get a natty one so he could die.
Son of a. I'm dead. That's the campaign, guys.
God, you still want to roll for me? I'll let you roll for me.
I fucking hate it here.
Thanks, Scott.
Welcome. So,
Yadis gets in unscathed. The orcs guard, whatever, come and find Rita. They take her to jail. They say, "You're dying this time for your," and she's like, "Yeah, that's appropriate." And then
I think they would have found
perishes.
you when you smelled bad.
So you go walking into the place, Yondis. You quickly, slip your way in there, pop the lock. That you guys pop lock and drop it. Like you guys, you wouldn't have completely latched it before to make things easier for you, and you go into the place no problem. And then Rena sees you going in there. She's like, "Wow, come tell Yondis shit quick." And then she goes rushing in, trying to follow the pace after you, not realizing that somebody who's literally looking at this point in time. As she goes to go walking in, somebody's like, "Hey, who the hell are you?" And you look over, it's just a random person.
I stop
Hmm.
and walk back out.
They're like, "I'm getting a guard," and they turn to run to find the guard somewhere.
Just simply say, it's okay, they know me.
Yeah, like I can roll deception for that.
Okay.
Do
Rita,
it.
we've been in this
Go for
situation
it.
before. It's really simple. Are you ready? You have to run up to him and catch him, tie him up, throw him in a warehouse,
Oh
It's
my
that we should
God.
not do that again. I know we've
and
done
then I'll
that.
come in and I'll kill him.
Oh, you'll kill him this time? Cool, thanks.
That is what happened.
I know, except I killed him last time.
Waiting.
I will run up to him.
Okay, and
Wait, Wade's here?
I'll run up to him and say, whoa, listen, you don't need to get a guard. I was just in there before. I'm supposed to be there. Everything's fine.
As you're running up to them saying that, yeah, deception with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I roll perception to see where she went. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Oh, no luck.
No luck for you today.
Oh, don't see her.
You just assume she's behind you. She make your way
Alright,
downstairs.
Go all the way through without you. Bye.
Ophios are back. All right, so Rita, you are caught up outside.
We still have a mental link, just so you know.
Do we? No, it's
Yeah,
it's
of
been an
course.
hour. How long does that last?
It's been about an hour. I'd have to reconnect it. Yeah. So Rita, you
An hour?
yeah,
Yeah.
because of the combats and everything. Yeah. So Rita, you would, oh, what's what I'm saying? Go running up to the person. You're like, no. I'm. What did you say again?
It doesn't matter what I said.
And yeah, they're just like,
Okay.
You don't
huh?
need to get a guard.
Yeah, of course. And they like turn and start full on running.
Oh, you said
Can
you were
I-
supposed to be there. You're like, I'm
Can I-
supposed to be.
Grab him before he runs
Okay,
away.
great. Here we go.
For you to be able to grab them, you have to beat me in initiative. Why don't you go ahead and roll initiative?
Are there any warehouses nearby? Abandoned warehouses?
Sure, I'll find
Oh, but there's
something.
the big
Rita,
little
roll
thing.
initiative. Well, it's a good start. There's a good start. There's a good start.
Remember,
There's a good
Rena,
start.
You have the ability to add to that if you choose to.
I don't have all my shit back. Oh, look at
that
you.
doesn't matter.
You
It
know
doesn't
what?
matter.
You know what? It's fine.
What do you do?
He's stunned in fear as you
I'll just-
sprint at him.
I want to grab him and knock
Goliath
him out.
woman. Oh my god.
Not kill him, just, knock
punch
him
him in
out.
the face. Just
Yeah,
grab him
pretty
and punch
much.
him in the face.
Grapple is an opposed athletics check.
Okay.
It was almost a 1. These are fun.
What
No
the
way.
fuck? Oh,
No,
okay.
he's
All
a
right, we're
minus
good. We're
one.
good.
Very good.
Okay, you technically have a second attack, don't you?
Technically, yeah.
Spit in his eyes.
I'm gonna knock him out.
I mean, knock him out. Yeah.
I guess I could just use the hilt of my offhand axe.
Sure.
Punch him in the jaw. Like a lot.
You just should hit him with that last piece of that axe, you know.
Not
you-
that one.
So you hit him with your offhand axe. Rita, make your attack roll.
Wouldn't it be easier to like sleeper hold him and just like wrap him?
Oh, you have to turn
Take
off.
the-
No,
Turn
I
off.
gotta-
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can take that negative and do 10 extra damage.
No, because she's
yeah,
not
come
using.
on.
She's
come
not
on.
doing it two-handed. She can't.
Oh!
Okay, you can roll that damage instead. Feast or famine, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh,
Hey,
great.
guys.
Reroll.
Oh, my-
It's supposed to reroll.
No.
You also didn't
This is a
remove the.
one-handed.
This
You
isn't
didn't remove
yeah.
the. Yeah, you didn't remove. You got to remove the damage and reroll.
Yep.
Where?
You gotta
Oh, the
uncheck the
damage
10.
modifier. Oh my god. Okay.
13.
I rolled higher.
Okay, there you go. So you do 13 points of damage. So you run up to the person. You run up and like, you don't need to get a guard. They're like, okay, and they start running. Like, fuck. Run up, grab them, just like, boom, and just use the flat side of the metal axe into the side of the head, probably giving him a nasty concussion.
Yeah.
And there's like, poof, as if he just like held up by the shirt. So it's kind of like a.
Okay. All right. It's all right. What's
Where's
nearby?
Shrapnel when you need him?
Go,
There's a
no,
well.
I'll just take him with
Make a
us.
perception check.
Take him with him. Throw out the hole. Throw him in the hole. Wrap up the
Oh,
hole.
not
Okay, I
the
got 10
hole.
minutes before he dies.
Don't have the hole. I do.
Okay. All right. How's
You
that?
look about.
Put him in the haversack.
You might be able to get him inside the. You might be able to get him inside the bank without anybody drag him all the way over there without anybody noticing. That's a
don't
rather
have to have
large.
anymore.
That's a rather large rain barrel over there.
The rain barrel.
It's
Is
a
it full
terrible
water?
idea. He's gonna wake up. He's gonna drown in there.
No. I'll empty it. It's fine.
You go over and you look inside. The rain barrel's got water inside of it, but they'll easily have their head above the water.
Okay, cool. It'll be fine.
So you put them inside the rain barrel, and you just kind of go over and just kind of like
Something
put
on
them
top
in.
of it.
Obviously, once you put inside their body inside the rain barrel, the submerging them increases the amount of like the water kind of goes up.
Raining profusely.
Goes up a bit, but like it only comes up to their shoulders. So even though they're like, oh, the water only comes up to their shoulders. So and you look about, and you actually do see
a curse and have it start raining profusely.
you actually do see a lid to the rain barrel that you could put on top if you wanted to, or you could just leave it open.
I mean, walking. Would you be able to? Yeah, you probably. I'm gonna put the lid on. Because he could just push it off. It'll be fine. He'll push it off. It'll be okay.
And the lid's designed so the gutter would be able to, so the redirected water from the roof would be able to pour down into it to collect rain.
Can I push the like? I'm strong enough, right? Can I just push the barrel like a little bit out of the way of the
It's
gutter?
full of water and now a body.
Well, it's a push out of the way of where?
Just a little bit out of the way of the where the gutter is, so that the water wouldn't really fill up.
Just ask Derb where the forecast is.
Derb's not here.
The
Wait,
one
okay, hold
time
on.
you could use it.
I know,
Do I
honestly.
not have a mental hiccup? Because I would have put it
No.
up when we were talking to the flame. Has it been an hour since we started talking to the flame?
Josh, what the fuck?
Has it really been an hour for us
Yeah,
to walk to the
it's been over an
hospital and
hour.
walk back?
Oh no,
had to
so
wait
less than
there
an
an
hour
hour.
for that one.
Yeah, it's
Let's
been
sit
less
over
than an
that.
hour.
For that one, yeah, but that's fine. So you probably at this point decide to go, Rena, where the hell are you? After you already went downstairs. Ophios, we're back. Rena and I are, fuck, Rena, where are you? And then she can respond as she's putting the lid back on there.
Coming.
No, I'm on my way.
Get
Got
in the
held
barrel
up.
first, though.
Stealth check, Rena.
Hold a hole.
Isn't there a? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there like a hole in the bottom that I could like uncork or something, or spout or whatever?
Do you
So
want
just a
to
barrel.
do you want to draw attention to water leaking out of the barrel?
Just leave the
Yeah,
barrel.
'cause
It's
that-
fine.
Okay.
I'm not hammering the lid on though.
Draw
I'm just
attention
setting
to
it,
water leaking out of the
setting
barrel.
it
If it
gently on
rains, is
top.
anyone gonna notice?
I'll actually set the lid in a way where it would like the water would like not be able to get into the barrel.
Okay, sure.
And then I leave. I'm done. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm leaving.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going back into the bank.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, another stealth check or what?
I love that it says water barrels are airtight. Like, if they were airtight, how would water get in?
I love this one.
Okay, all right. No, I go in the bank. It's fine. I'm back. Oh, look, I'm back. Look at that.
Oh, that took so long. Okay, great. Don't
That
tell me.
guy's like,
Alright.
oh boy, I can't believe all that extra work I've been doing is paid off. I got a bonus. I'm so excited to have a bonus this time of year.
Hey,
my
what
wife's
are they doing going to that
expecting.
bank?
My wife's expecting, and oh man, this seems like a bit of a shady neighborhood. Hey, what are you doing inside of that bank? Oh, I shouldn't have said nothing. Oh, I'm getting a card.
Get out of here.
It's too late.
Then he survives and he looks at his paycheck and the paper is disintegrated in his hand and he's like, no.
That's okay. I'm sure my boss is a respectable person who will just write me a new one.
Is there
Never.
a waterfall nearby? Make this man a legend.
Off he goes. Good luck, sir. When they find you, they'll be impressed.
The amount of
They'll
water,
give you double your paycheck for if you survive this.
but with all the water in the barrel, it wouldn't be as buoyant.
You
That'd be
realize
bad.
that would help brace him from the impact of the fall, though, right?
Sure. You could slosh around inside there.
Yeah, but it legitimately would actually.
PC 52.
Activate NPC. What is it?
Okay, all right.
66?
I'm back in the.
66.
I'm back in the bank.
All right, so Rita comes walking into like Ophios, and so when you go downstairs, you're like Ophios. And Ophios kind of pokes his head around the corner to seeing you. You know, you guys say anything to one another?
He's in the room with the elemental again.
Oh, you're back in there. Well, he managed to get the damn ring off.
Hey, Ophios, you smell that? Me either. Because the smell's gone, Ophios.
Of anything else?
What?
Oh yeah. On our way into the hospital, we saw a bunch of people hanging out outside. We asked them what was going on, and they said that they saw some like flashes in the sky of like red and orange lights, and the smell of brimstone, which we immediately assumed was probably related to the demon. But hey, it doesn't smell bad anymore.
That's good information. I was more or less asking Rena if she got rid of anything else.
Like what? It's a rhetorical question because she knows what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys talking about?
He wants to know if I used any of the wishes, Yondas.
Oh, summon it here? That's a bad idea. They're looking out for it, I bet. I assume.
Yeah, it's not the place.
That wasn't exactly what I was referring to, but
You say stuff out loud, I imagine, because you can only talk into Yondas's head. So, the
Yeah, we are.
elemental is, of course, before you and says, "What are you looking to summon?"
Demon.
not
shouldn't have said.
summoning anything.
Yeah, what do you know about devils? Flame?
They find my home comfortable, as far as I remember.
You haven't been home in a while?
Nearly my entire existence.
Group huddle? Mental link? If we,
We have the mental link with the fire elemental. He can hear us.
He can choose to speak to you guys, and you can choose to speak to him.
Oh,
He
okay.
can.
Oh.
He basically can cut him out and not talk to him.
Oh, but we can't cut each other out.
You can't speak to each other. You speak to Yondis, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
group huddle. If we wish this fire elemental back to his plane, if we were to offer that to him, do you think he'd be able to offer us anything in return of equal value here? Kind of get a win-win situation going? Just a
Like
thought.
what?
I mean, he powers a moat, which is, I would know, is a power source that Mole use for experiments and lots of different kinds of science and magic. So maybe there's something at the end of it that might be worth turning on.
The moat. That's why Snaga sent me here.
Does he want it on or off?
He was saying what I was trying to do was not able. What I can gather was that what I was trying to do was not able to be utilized where we were. And that information is far more valuable than anything else. And perhaps getting access to this moat before we send him back, which I agree with you, giving him respite would be important. He's been here for lifetimes.
Okay, we only have a few hours till the wishes expire.
How many hours has it been?
At this point, it's been about 2 hours, not even, I think. So,
Oh, that's
well,
it.
I would say about 2 hours. Yeah, so you have 22 hours left.
Oh, okay.
Since we started
20
killing the
Oh,
zombies?
yeah.
Okay.
Saying what he's powering might be this thing that the Lopers are utilizing.
So, if we can get what we need here, or wherever the moat is, that this thing powers, we can use some of it to power the moat and then send it home. And we can get a full hand here. Everyone wins. Is that a
Yes.
good idea? I feel like that's a good idea. But that's going to be really hard to pull off in 20 hours or so. Plus, we got to figure out what we're doing with the third wish. But if we're gonna do it, we should start.
At the end of the day, the one who is bound to it makes those decisions.
Is it worth trying? I honestly don't know what we're trying to accomplish with Ophios, but I wouldn't mind seeing this guy go home. Just feel bad looking at him.
He was much bigger than what he shows now.
Was he scary?
No.
Oh, well, there you go. He's a good guy. Good thing. Or we can wish the contract undone, or wish for some extra power.
I don't know if you can
complete
wish
our
for
quest.
a contract undone.
Well, the wish for
I'm
power didn't
shocked.
exactly last.
Specificity, I imagine, is necessary.
Must be hard for a snake to say. Specificity.
Snaga did speak to me about what we are what kind of creature we are dealing with.
Can you speak to him willingly?
You know why I was sealed in that room I was able to commune with him.
Do you think he could help us with getting the things we need here?
He cannot aid in this matter.
Okay. Of course not.
And that's all he said to you?
He said that this thing that we are dealing with is a devil, and that they are bound to their contracts, and all contracts have a price, and that the most valuable thing is information, and that we need to be very wise when deciding how and when we use them, but there's no getting out of the deal that has already been written. Only that we must take advantage of what we are given as best we can.
I agree.
So what are we doing then?
But be responsible about it, for devils take as much as they give, if not more.
So if we move forward with this idea, what could potentially be taken?
I don't know.
Who's to say that the fire elemental would live?
Like I said, we need to focus on what we can gain from what we boon, and hopefully that outweighs the cost, and must be specific about it.
Well, the wish would be to send him home. That'd be one of them. So we still have one extra wish, but we still need to figure out how to get everything here, even to pull off this experiment.
But sending him home in what way?
And if you send him home, it
He could
takes
be
the
just-
power away from the moat, and then what? It's
It
Well,
could
we do it
useless to us?
first.
trap him or kill him or something along those lines. We need to be specific.
I see.
And we need to figure out what this moat is. For I imagine it has the potential to be used in the way that I would like to take advantage of Loper technology.
Well, if this connects to the plane of fire, how exactly can we? I mean, it doesn't exactly sound like a place that we can exist.
It's what it's pulling the energy for and towards.
If it's that important, fine. We'll do it. But I'm using the last one.
I don't need one.
I don't know what we're saying we're using this for right now.
Well, let's
Well, we're
figure
not
it
using
out.
it right now, but we're after.
Should we talk to the fire elemental again then?
Ask
Asking
him what
more
he's
questions.
powering or what's being powered or whatever.
It's our only way to figure out what this is.
Yeah. You want to do it, or you want me to do it?
You're the only one that technically can communicate.
Is that true? I think anyone linked can communicate.
They have to speak to you.
They have to speak to me.
Yeah,
in
more or
order
less,
to-
they can talk and they can more or less. I assume you can kind of like directly, just for the sake of allowing them to be a part of the RP, allow them to directly channel it, like more or less as they speak, you echo their words, almost like you're a translator.
Okay.
The question is, where and what are you powering? Is there a way we can locate it?
Well, I can just translate that to them then. I can just send literally that. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll ask the fire elemental, where is the moat and can we use it?
Where's the moat? Let me pull up that map. That map is over here. Where you guys are here. That moat is right. The moat is to the north and to the west.
To the north and to the west.
You must travel along the river for some time, and then you must travel to the west from there to discover its exact location.
Okay, we have a day.
If one moves quick enough, they might be able to get there in a day, but you would have to move rapidly.
You know of a way to get places quick. Can you show me on a map if I had a map without burning it?
I cannot see it. I do not know this land. I have never left this chamber. I can feel its distance from where we are right now. I can tell you,
Can you
by
pull them up from
distance.
anywhere, or do you have to be here?
The moat is connected to where I am. Power
Okay.
it from here, and it is a set location.
That's what I thought.
Would I be able to try and feel the ideal where it is through the Snagastat? This is meta. Like, would I be able to? Is there a statue in that location, and would I know of that or try?
You have to.
be
You
able
can try to ask Snaga if you want.
Yeah, that would be my go-to. 'Cause
Okay.
that would get us there quickly.
So you would go to. Oh, my back.
To commune with the statue.
So you would go to ask Snaga to see what he knows about the situation. As you go into the other room to start kind of try to commune with the statue, isn't going to be a quick thing. It's going to take you a while of sitting there and kind of cuddling with it to get its some information. You'll allow a couple moments time to pass for you, okay, Tyler? The two of you are in the other room. I don't know if you guys would choose to speak to one another at all, or just kind of like sit there and enjoy a little bit of relaxation time, because you know it's going to be a long day. Since you're probably not going to go to sleep while you still have those wishes burning a hole and burning time. So would the two of you be doing anything, or you do also be similarly relaxing for a bit, waiting for him?
I would probably. God damn it. Yondis would be asking questions to the fire about how the moat's powered, like what kind of energy it uses. Is there a side effect of it? Like, is there any downside to using it? Like, why isn't it? How strong is it? Why is it weaker now than it was?
This is
Like,
what it
that
knows.
Kind of lore building.
It is a boundary between this plane and the next plane that's thin. And it's powered
Okay.
because he is trapped here. Or bound here, I should say, not trapped, bound here.
Yeah.
That's
So
what he
when
can
he's
tell you.
gone, it goes away. Yeah. I
Correct.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Why is it weaker now than it was?
Because he is growing weaker.
Okay.
Or that they are growing weaker.
So is he growing weaker because he's expending more energy than he has? Like, is there like a maintained level, or is it just like slowly dwindling for the next 1,000 years?
Tyler can kind of answer that question for you because hundreds of years ago, like 700 years ago, that was a big fire and it remembers Tyler. So clearly it's the same fire and now it's still here. So it's probably just been siphoned over the course of hundreds of years. But he also said that its own life has been prolonged by being bound here.
Gotcha.
So those are all answers that you would have.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
siphoned down the size of the elemental. It's essentially shrunk it.
Mm-hmm. It's tiny size now. It's like the size of a cat standing up, whereas beforehand it was the size of like a hill giant.
Yeah.
So do fire elementals in the fire plane die the same way?
You wouldn't know.
It wouldn't know either?
It spent almost its entire existence here, so it doesn't really know either. It's more or less like you're talking about a tiger that was born into captivity.
Yeah.
It knows it's a tiger, but doesn't know much about the jungle.
Then I guess I'd ask if it would ever... If it had the ability to return to the fire plane or die, which would it choose?
It doesn't know.
Okay, that's nice.
So after a bit of time
That's it.
passes... Oops, sorry.
That's it for me. That's it.
Perception check from the two of you after a bit of time passes. Tyler, only not you because you're so far back into the chamber where you are. Because you're like all the way at the very end of one of those two hallways and you're huddling with the statue more or less. Cool. You hear it. You hear the door at the top of the stairs snap shut. And then you hear somebody walking down the stairs. But Rena, it doesn't matter your perception because he's going to give you a heads up first. What do you do?
Mental link, everybody. Someone's coming. We should hide.
So I imagine the two of you very quickly kind of get up and rush to the temple room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, someone's coming to hide. This is after maybe like 20 minutes of Tyler cuddling with a statue. Okay. This happens. You hear the footsteps coming. Those are some pretty friggin' heavy footsteps that are coming down the stairs. Like, they are some heavy fucking footsteps.
Like an orc's footsteps? Or...
Yeah, maybe. It's pretty heavy. And they have a bit of a shuffle to them. You know what I mean?
God. Yep.
You guys can go ahead and roll stealth. You have an advantage, though, because they can't see you or they're not anywhere near you.
Oh, all right. Thanks. Nice.
Sick.
What the hell? It's okay. A 9's not terrible.
Okay, so you guys make your way down, hide away very quickly when you hear this like loud shuffle like steps making their way through. Does anybody do anything aside from what we just discussed, hiding and informing everybody?
I mean, I'm still snuggling with the statue. I'd be paying attention to see if I hear them coming or whatnot.
Well, I would tell you in your mind already.
I know you told me in the mind, but I'm listening for if they get close to me, and then I'll hide.
Okay.
They seem to have stopped because you can tell that they're not coming any closer down this hallway, either in that main room out there or into the actual room with the elemental.
Yep. Keep waiting, I guess.
Josh has a suggestion for you, Arena. What do you wait for?
Them to leave?
So you're just gonna wait back there for a bit?
I guess.
Okay. You can roll me because you can roll me another perception check. This is a different thing you're listening for. Tyler, you're only not rolling because you're clearly concentrating on something else.
Well, that's with advantage, so I ignore.
I am. I'm ignoring.
Wow.
Yondis kind of like makes its way back up the corridor like a little bit, just enough to be able to kind of like listen a little bit closer, and you actually hear a little bit of conversation happening from the other side over there. You actually hear it aloud. The fire elemental making noises. Kind of noises, right?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yep, I thought so. And in return,
I feel like I'm playing Star Wars already.
Apparently, chat couldn't hear you.
you heard nothing.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Test, 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 test. It's okay because I said no actual words. I said no actual words. I just spoke a whole bunch of gibberish. So, it didn't matter. You're good.
Oh, thanks, Thanos.
Because you
Thanks for the
couldn't
heads up.
hear what he was saying because none of them speak that language. So it was this voice, but it was Boda.
What? Can I ask what language it is?
You have no idea.
Also, it's talking to someone, so that would not be a good time.
Well, I was just asking because
Scott. Yeah.
I have a bunch of languages on my sheet.
I'll look in your sheet just to be sure, but
I have Glen, Draconic, Loper, Perrin, and Sloven.
none of those.
None of those. Speaking fire. Chintzy or something.
Ooh, it's the devil. The devil's talking to the elemental.
No, that voice is.
I will consume your soul.
Oh, okay, fair.
I want my BP.
That's Neil.
Now you sound like Patrick.
That's Neil. Patrick's not a whiny little bitch.
No, Patrick uses that filter all the time. That's why.
Yeah, because sometimes he has to pretend to be a whiny little bitch. So that's Patrick sounding like Neil.
Pretending.
Yeah.
Oh. Shit. I gotta apologize to him soon.
Yeah, what Neil is. So what do you guys do as you hear this happening? Unfortunately, I don't think the one person that can actually hear it, I don't think you have any idea who that is.
No,
Because
I have no
you
idea
were
who it
removed
is.
from the campaign for a long time.
And I can't hear it.
Nope, you're too
I
far
would
back.
tell you they're talking. I don't know who it is.
Or
Can you see-
understand the
Can you
language.
see them?
Nope, can't see him. You want me to try to see him?
Well, don't risk it. Yes.
Okay, I won't risk it.
Just wait till they leave. Your
I
choice.
guess we'll wait. Nah, yeah, I will wait.
Okay,
I'm getting thrown out.
if you guys are waiting, you're gonna be waiting a while. You prepared?
I'm gonna lose my. mental
Depends on how
connection, but
long.
that's okay.
I mean,
2 hours pass, and eventually they will go back up the stairs. There are heavy
I was
shuffling
just hugging a
footsteps.
statue the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He's gotten answers from the statue before. Sometimes he hugs it for a day. How they got
if it's gonna
powers
be
for hugging that
2
statue before.
hours-
I was
it's
gonna
gonna
say
be
if it's
2
that long,
hours,
I might.
Oh,
I
that's
would
meta.
probably after. No, it's not. After the first hour, I'd probably once we lose the mental connection, I'd probably actually be past that, even longer than that. Just out of boredom and knowing that they've been talking for a long time, he'd probably try to peek in and see
Stealth.
what's going on. Okay. Should I roll luck just in case, guys?
I mean, it might be a good idea.
I can't.
Nobody loves you today. You guys have gotten, I think, like 2 luck dice all day so far.
Yeah.
Where are you? There you are. I'm just trying to get the stat. Roll 20 is very slow. Give me 1 second, please. So flat wisdom provides that, and I think it's a trained skill, isn't it? It actually is. So because of their level, which is that, that would offer. Hold on, let me just check 5e. Let me just check 5e fighter, for instance, and see what proficiency bonus that level offers. 3, so that's a +7 perception. Buddha comes up to.
+7? Jesus. So he has to roll a 10 or
Below a
lower.
10. He rolled a 10.
He rolled a 10.
So ties obviously go to the PCs.
All right.
But Daddy's
Uh-oh.
dice don't.
Oh, it was our last daddy's dice.
Great.
You see a massive man made out of rock. Seemingly made out of rock. Flesh
Dwayne?
made out of rock.
Okay, sorry, that wasn't funny. All right.
Standing there before you. This person is large, imposing, and frightening looking for somebody that doesn't know them. Clearly, this person is going to be able to hold their own because they look like they're made out of rock. Their back is to you, and they're speaking in very deep and slow tones. You can hear.
You know, stuff.
Rena knows who that is.
Jabba the Hutt?
He's like super cool and like stuff. Like I totally like know who he is. Like I'm not gonna
coolest guy
ask him
ever?
anything. Like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah, but he doesn't know me, and he's gonna squash me.
And then as you're looking at him, all of a sudden, there's a, and he stops, and he just turns around, and just looks directly at you.
You narc! This stupid fire.
He looks at you. He looks at you, and he says,
Who are you?
Do I notice this or no?
Housekeeping.
Do you link up again or no? I don't know if you can.
No, I'm not going to.
Who are you? Unfortunately, it's like I turned off my noise suppressor, so that should make it so I don't cut out as much, but it's like redlining my voice. Like it's like
It's not too loud for
looks
us.
like it's peaking over on slobs. It's like definitely hit redline almost to the top of the red line, but this should not be lost on you guys. You should be fine here now.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I turned off my noise suppressor first. It's just so gravelly. It's assuming it's noise. All right, go ahead.
Good?
Mhm.
Okay.
"What are you?"
I'll come out with my hands up, and I'll say, sorry, I'm here alone. See if he believes me. Thermal deception. Okay, I might as well.
I like how he asks, "Who are you?" and you go, "Hi, I'm here alone."
I know that's. Yeah,
Since
for
motive
sure
is
I'll
another
have
trained skill.
disadvantage.
I think he should have advantage because he's literally just being like, "By the way, I'm by myself."
Uh-oh. That's not a trained skill?
That's trained skill for him.
Oh, it is a trained skill.
Mhm.
Oh.
So he says,
How many are with you, Mr. Alone?
Just me. My name's Yondis.
he takes a step forward and he gives you like a kind of like a bearing down look, and
Are
says,
you one of the guards? I'm not stealing anything.
I wish to have peaceful talks with the man that broke into the bank.
That would be me.
Let us not make things unpleasant.
What do you mean?
"Do you So you just kind of go like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Okay. Give for me one
It's
moment,
gonna
please.
squash me. I gotta check something too. Okay, yeah, so my barrier will be back up. We're good. It's once per short rest.
Give for me one
We haven't
moment.
even taken a short rest. Oh yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have.
Because we did the potions and stuff. Wait, did we take a short rest? We didn't take a short rest.
Okay. He's going to say,
Very well. Stay here and indulge me for 1 minute.
he then walks over to a wall and places his hand on the wall. And he just never breaks eye contact with you while placing his hand on the wall.
Is he an owl? His head's like turned around.
Nope. He just places his hand on the wall. And he holds it there. About a minute passes. And then he kind of like his arm starts to bend and he brings his ear to the wall and listens to it. And then he raises, like kind of pushes himself back off the wall a good bit and says,
You are here with Ophios and Rena.
Oh shit. Who?
The two of them with You Must Be Yondis are meant to be beneath Sun's Rest. What has happened down there? Why has the red light shone overhead? We have many questions for the three of you and what transpired and why you disappeared.
I see. Well, we're still working on some of those answers. Sorry, are you with the Slumbering Queen or someone else?
My name is Kithul. I am one of the chosen of Valoran.
He's chosen? That's so cool. I didn't know he was. Oh, I'm Yondis. I already said that. Do you want to come talk to Rena too?
Yes.
All right.
And he'll walk out that area with the he'll walk out that area and turn around the corner to go back to where the others are. And he looks to find Ophio strangely cuddled up against the statue on the ground, probably in snake form too. Like, oh.
As I'm walking him to Rena, I'd be like, yeah, that fire elemental seems nice. Seems like a nice thing. Friends with
You're
him?
not the only one he's tattled on, let me tell you.
As he walks into the room, he says,
Rena, what has transpired?
Kithul!
Oh, hey! What are you
It's been
doing
a
here? Oh my
while.
God.
Unfortunately, a
I
lot.
also would like to have pleasantries, but things have happened. There is a tension in Kurzfall ever since a streak of red has crossed the skies. There is a tension that exists inside Kurzfall. I have come to Hard Gwen and discovered that the streak of red has crossed their skies as well. Trying to seek answers from my companion in the other room, I have found none. All these concerns came to be when we saw the streak. We felt the air, the everything change in Kurzfall. And then we went to go and deliver the aid that Jocelyn had promised to you, and you were gone.
Yep, that's my
How we
fault.
do?
And my fault alone.
Elaborate.
You don't happen to remember that axe that I had, do you?
You have had many an axe.
It's kind of distinct.
You want to show him the shard?
Yeah, I pull out the piece of it.
he takes it and holds it in his hand for a few moments, obviously feeling the
Nope.
residual heat from inside of it.
It'll be
Don't let him
fine.
take it.
I mean,
Would
it's
he
fine.
know that Rayron sent
Doesn't
us
know.
that axe?
This axe, this metal, I have seen it before in its unique color. This belongs to the chosen of the blade. This once belongs to one.
Rayron, or one, I guess both of them, gifted it to me.
This was given to you by the chosen?
Yes.
Is this of importance?
Yes. Like, I'll go to reach back for it.
How so?
And he puts it back in your hand, of course.
Okay. Cool. I have it now. Kithel, I like you. I You're gonna be so disappointed. The thing
Ophios
is,
Ophios is gonna chime in and just be an
done?
absolute dick about this and go. It summons the demon that the pact was met with.
It
the
summons a what?
A devil.
He looks like he's a very stoic person. Like he very rarely has facial expression. And despite that fact, you actually see his facial expression shift a bit to be very upset. And when I say he's a very stoic person, I want to be 100% crystal on this one. He literally has a feat called stone-faced. Stone-faced makes it so that it is a difficult check to be able to even notice. It's significantly harder to read his emotions than it is any other person because he's so stone-faced, right? So that being said, you can actually, for the first time ever, really see an emotional shift on him. And his face drops a bit. I think it's the second time in any of the campaigns so far he's shown an emotional response. And he says,
You have gotten entangled in their games then. This is unfortunate. It seems as though the plagues of our past have yet to run their course. Please explain to me all of the details that you know, that I may provide whichever aid that I can.
Ophios will just look to Rena.
glares at you. So the reason we went down there in the first place was to see what could be salvaged from the wreckage back at Curse Vault? No, not Curse Vault. Yes, Curse Vault? Okay.
Incomplete still, mind you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we went
in Sun's Rest, not Curse Fall. Curse Fall already fell. Sun's Rest is still standing.
Sun's Rest. Wow, rousing don't. Okay, thanks.
She's bringing the T-Pain.
Joke's on you. I'm a disappointment to everybody. So the reason we went down there was to see if anything was salvageable. But that creature we fought before was still alive.
Ophios starts opening up the hole to pull the body out.
So you don't really need to, but
Okay, that's unnecessary.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
He looks at it.
To pull the body out.
He looks at it. He's stone-faced, and then just
Great.
nods understandingly, and you can put it.
Wait,
you can put it back.
What do I need to roll to try to read that emotion?
Shh.
Insight?
Go ahead, Rita.
Damn.
It was threatening the integrity of the area, so wanted to kill it, which we did, but its body is, well, like Loper. It's hard to kill, hard to pierce. My normal axe wasn't working, so I thought to use the other one, and I did. And seems it's what I know, its soul, like its soul was taken. Yeah, I guess seems its soul was taken into the axe, like I've seen it do before, and it shattered.
I do not understand what this poor little creature was, but you were telling me that you chose to use an axe that takes souls when you've seen it be done before.
You should probably explain that a little better.
It's not something that I understood too well. I've only used it a handful of times. It just seemed a bit stronger. I thought a magical weapon would be better suited to make sure it was dead. This was not by any means a innocent being. It was an abomination incredibly strong. And if it had gotten to the surface, I don't know what would have happened.
I do not know how this then links to devils.
Right. The axe, after killing it, the axe itself shattered and the devil appeared, saying that the contract had been fulfilled. I had no idea what he was talking about, but said that instead of agreeing to the original terms of the contract, that he just grant me.
Don't not say that you were offered 3 boons.
She blinks.
Yeah, but we've already used one.
This is unfortunate.
Everything okay, big guy?
This is unfortunate. You need to go and speak with the Chosen of the Quill. He has studied at length details about demons and devils and otherworldly beings, as was requested, somewhat strangely at first, but now deeply understood by the previous Chosen. He will be able to provide insight on what to do next. Unfortunately though, Rena, I think you have gotten yourself tangled in something that should not have fallen upon your lap.
It wouldn't be the first time.
As for the keep and what you discovered there, apparently there was someone that would be able to assist you if you had the ability to find them. There is a man who lives somewhere between life and death, goes by the name of Kroll. Kroll has within him.
Oh, I know Kroll.
I know Kroll.
Wait, yeah. Why do we know him?
You know
'Cause we-
of Kroll?
Yeah, he was at the top of the tower with me and Abstergo
Time
after
Temple.
Abstergo left.
Oh yeah.
He says, you know of Kroll?
Yes, yeah. I
Yes.
spoke to him.
We met him when we last saw Rayren.
Then my suggestion for what it is you're trying to do beneath Sun's Rest is to seek out Kroll. Kroll has within him, and under a degree of his own command, the Emperor that once resided in Sun's Rest, who would know intimately how to utilize that facility, though I do not know the timeline between his existence and the experiments that you are researching. I know little to nothing beyond the small glimmer of information that was delivered to me within the past few hours by Jocelyn.
We don't have a lot of time.
So
By this,
our
22 hours.
yeah, our well, 20 now. Or 21, I don't know. We have been given 3 boons that expire in 24 hours, so is that the time frame we're dealing with? What happens after these boons expire? Is anything going to change?
I do not know. We need to get you to Kurzfall as quickly as possible so that you may speak with Elliot.
Cursefall. Sunrest?
Sun's Rest is where you fought that creature and things went sideways. We need to get you to the library inside Kurzfall, where there is details about these otherworldly creatures that can be cross-referenced. Unfortunately, at one point in time, there were more books written by them all, but they have since been destroyed.
Kithel, were you speaking with that elemental in the other room?
Yes,
What does it power?
it acts as a conduit between this plane and the next one.
That's what I told you.
No, but it powers another place, another temple.
It told you about a moat.
Yes.
The significance of these moats we do not understand, but I can tell you that there is a moat for the plane of fire that exists not too far from Kurzfall.
There's something there that I need to investigate, or at least I think I do.
Are you so sure?
Relatively.
That is your decision. Though, whatever it was that you did, Rena, whatever creature it was that you killed, I am now believing that that is what triggered the events that's happened overhead. And Kurzfall is a place that feels different now. This part of it, dear, it's linked not just to our own world, but to others, through these moats. And when there is a ripple, it is felt there. Or so we are quickly understanding.
I'm sorry, Kithel.
You can apologize to me with your words, but you might have to owe so much more to so many more. I fear what it was that had transpired, for I have only seen events such as this twice before. Once was when the martyr was released from her captivity and given her full divine power through the efforts of the previous chosen. The second was when the Arbiter was lifted from his state of undeath into divinity, and by the efforts of the previous chosen. This time didn't have the same pulse of energy, didn't have the same feel to it. This time felt different entirely.
You're saying something was lifted from the undead to arbiter status?
The god known as the Arbiter, more informally and more personally known as Nankaru, which I think is the name that you guys know.
Yeah. We know about the Arbiter.
If a devil were to claim a god, what would happen?
That is well beyond my understanding. Let us just hope that that question is something that can't be answered because it can't be done. But even you're just asking it is making me tremble.
Let's be clear, he's not trembling. He's a big rock man.
Thanks for explaining. I was worried that my best friend would be scared, and I didn't want that scenario to be true.
No,
My
well, I mean,
best friend, Mr. Rockman Kithel.
He's not scared, he's as solid as a rock. Like a rock.
Like the country?
Okay, so wait, we have to talk to Kroll then?
That's E-Rock.
In Kurzfall?
Hmm?
We have to go to Kurzfall?
Come with me to Kurzfall. That way you may speak with Elliot, the chosen of the Quill.
And you're sure we can do this in under 22 hours?
We can use transportation to get there quickly. Though, I will not lie, that also seemed to act a bit strangely when I was using it to come here.
Great. One more thing, Kithel. Because we have these boons, we can summon the demon at any time within these 22 hours.
Devil.
That'd be a
devil, Yandis.
devil. Sorry, right. Would that be a bad idea, or is using the wishes relatively risk-free?
My personal perspective, or to reiterate what I've said before.
As I understand it, the deal is struck. You have the boons to use, and if you don't use them, the deal still remains. The cost
Gotcha.
is still taken. That's what Ophios would say.
So,
At least-
Kith, would you be
Unfortunately,
uncomfortable with us using them?
Who'd you ask that question?
Kithel?
Oh, okay. He says,
My opinion is to let them lie. Using them in their entirety will only invite more opportunity for bad things to happen. I suggest you do not use the boons. But I am very ignorant in such matters, and so will defer to Elliot's judgment on this one. I may be the chosen of the hearth, and it's my responsibility to keep the friends, family, and citizens of Kurzfall safe. It is Elliot's responsibility to understand what harms may come our way.
I want Reyna to say, speaking of citizens, this person is in here.
Ooh, yeah, we should check on it.
that's not Kurzfall. That's not Valorant though. That's Hard Gwen. That's a Hard Gwen
Oh,
citizen.
okay.
Oh, he doesn't care about that? He's like, oh, that's not...
Well, it's not he doesn't care. It's just maybe you should let him know.
not
You know,
his-
you know
It's
something
not
should.
his jurisdiction.
Yeah,
It's fine.
exactly, right?
Okay, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. No one needs to know. No one's gonna know.
Got it. Hey, you
How would
got
they
it.
know?
Don't worry.
How would they know?
They're gonna know.
They're not gonna know. How would they know?
I am actually thinking of something. I did see Kroll not too long ago. Perhaps
good.
this is a matter to speak of after everything else is handled. But I may know where Kroll is. It will take you longer than 24 hours to get there, but I don't think that matters, as that is not limited to time.
Oh. Interesting. Question for you, Rena. When you spoke to Elijah, would you have told Yandis the conversation, or would you have kept that?
He hasn't responded yet. I mean, you were right next to her when
Well,
she sent the
He
message.
responded, but it was like hey, it's me.
Oh yeah, things are happening. Oh yeah, I can't respond back. Oh,
Not today.
not
I
today.
don't remember if you
Not
told me.
until the
I don't
next
think
day.
you told me in roleplay, so I'm just checking if you would.
I guess
told
not.
me. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Think about it.
So
Yeah,
you guys gonna
probably
go
not.
with him?
Yeah.
Because we're going to be wrapping up the session soon. He would turn and say farewell to the or very soon. He would turn around and say farewell to the fire elemental, and then he would let me turn this back on. There we go. He would turn around and say farewell to the fire elemental, and then he would head with you guys out the door and over towards where the emissary is. Embassy is. Hey, the embassy, you go downstairs, down to the area where the teleporter and whatnot is there, and then he would go to use the teleporter, and he would lift the blocks, and he would go to open the door, and you'd still be inside the embassy. And it'd be kind of like one of those, see what I mean? And then, he'd kind of like do it a couple of different times before finally it does actually work and goes through, and you guys step into Kurzfall. And you feel Kurzfall feels off. This place here has this strange feeling, almost like you have a mild case of vertigo, and there's a lot of static electricity around you. Like Rena, you can feel your hair is kind of being like pulled slightly frizzy off of your head. You know what I mean? Yandis, you can just feel like, I don't know, your spidey senses are tingling. Like you just feel a little off. You feel jittery. Ophios, you just like taste it. It's like, you can just taste that things seem off here. Everybody again, it feels almost like they have a very, very mild case of vertigo. Like every step almost feels like it's a misstep. You know what I mean? Like again, like a leg is asleep. like, but you're able to walk on it now, but like you just feel like a little off balance, or like you're walking with one shoe, like a little off balance, you know. And you're able to make your way through there as things seem a bit off. You can definitely feel that, I don't know, things are strange right now. I'm not going to go into any more detail at the moment. We're going to have to kind of leave it here because obviously we goofed off a little bit and you guys had to do some side stuff that was super important. And eventually got rid of the damn Stinky Pinky so we could stop being a goddamn... And no, any trump cards for Stinky Pinky are going to be straight up ignored. If you trump card or curse for Stinky Pinky, you just straight up lose those daddies. Stinky anything.
The thing you created.
Stinky anything, okay, chat? Stinky anything. So, oh, I did a Stinky Pinky, I did a Stinky Toe. Haha. No. I'm just going to accept it, and then it's going to be ignored. You're going to lose the daddies. It's your punishment. Because Wade doesn't usually ask for much. And so I thought it was fun for Wade.
It was funny for the moment, and it was useful in the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was genuinely funny until maybe this past session and a half or so. You know, and then it got to the point where I was like, okay, this thing needs to go now. You know. Either way.
Damn, that sucks. I wish we had more time.
All right. So yeah, I gotta go. I go all sleepy. So
Yeah, I'm traveling tomorrow, so the earlier I can get to bed, the better.
Yeah. When I watched Rory do her, I don't know if I said this. No, because it was Thursday. I saw Rory do her martial arts on Thursday evening. I was actually at her class with her. One of the things that they do is they jump from hula hoop to hula hoop to hula hoop, and they practice like their punches or like their blocks or like their kicks. One of the things that they do is that they have like noodles, like pool noodles that they like hit the blocks with, or they'll hold out for them to punch and kick or whatever it is. So it looked like a lot of fucking fun. Like my daughter loves that shit. One of the things I noticed is that she's they take the class as younger kids, and they take the older younger kids and put them on one side of the room, and the younger kids and put them on the other side of the room. She's in the older group, and it was her and two boys. The two boys clearly have been around for a lot longer because they have way more stripes on their belts and the higher belts or whatever they are, right? So they clearly been around a lot longer than somebody who's been there for a couple days, for less than a week, right? And one's slightly older than her. One looks like exactly the same age, but you know, they're within 6 months, slightly older, right? And the two of them clearly know each other. They're clearly friends. And if you don't know children, you don't realize this, but generally speaking, rule of thumb, though this obviously isn't a blanket thing for everybody, boys are a lot more rambunctious than girls as a general rule. Again, obviously everybody's unique and has their own little features. So these are two very loud little boys that are both good friends with one another, and so play off each other and are very loud. And poor Rory's much quieter, right? And so when they're doing their things and they're like yelling, like like they're super, like clearly the loudest ones in the room and the whole building. These two boys are clearly the loudest, right next to poor Rory, who's like the new one. So I was like, oh boy, this poor kid's like a little loud. So she did awesome though. So afterwards, I went to like Walmart and bought a couple hula hoops because I realized she didn't own hula hoops anyways, and bought 2 pool noodles and chopped them up into thirds. So we have 6 like noodle things. And now we're like playing games where her and I take turns being teacher and student, and we jump through the hula hoops and we do our punches and kicks and hit each other's blocks and whatnot. So I could help her like kind of like get a little leg up with a little bit more because she loves it. It's fun to do with daddy. It's fun to beat daddy with the noodles. And maybe get her a little bit more confidence. So when she's sitting next to the little boy that's like, you know, she's a little bit more confident in her own ability as well, you know, because, oh boy, they're loud.
You could just slap him with the pool noodle?
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, it just the general idea to help, you know, get things along a little bit easier. So, but yeah. It's just, again, it's one of those like, oh boy. And I'm just thinking of my, like me and my sisters when we were kids, like my brothers and sisters when we were kids. Yeah. Boys are crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm reading Roz's message and I'm laughing at it.
But
sorry.
Anyways, I can give you the long version of that story if you'd like, Josh. All right. Anyways. I just there were jokes off of what Roz said that I just chose not to.
I thought of the exact same thing. So
so
unfortunately,
yeah, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Oh, so funny. Hey,
I
let's
was
go.
laughing.
Let's go raid Sluna. So, but while we're preparing to raid Sluna, Rena, why don't you pimp yourself? Unless you'd rather pimp a Yondis or Imber.
I'm not for sale yet.
Yeah, he's not on the market yet. He's not ready.
Raid timer's counting. Gotta pimp yourself.
Messi definitely beat 2 Bloodborne bosses first try.
Oh.
Let's go.
No, two. No.
Yeah, 2. Is that what you said?
No, just one.
Vicar and this witch that I haven't
Who?
ran into.
No, I only know the witch. I don't know I don't know who you're talking about. That other one is.
No, Vicar Amelia. No.
Whatever.
Okay, well, anyway, we're playing Bloodborne. We're also gonna do Pokemon next week.
I miss Pokemon.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's it. I got new art on my channel. I'm very proud of. So go check
Who
it
drew
out.
it?
Me.
Oh, cool. I want to check it out. I'm still waiting for my artist. I checked my DMs, right? Because the people I use, there's actually a manager to them. And they're like, yeah, it should take a couple of weeks. I was like, sweet, less than a month is perfect. In 7 more days, it makes 2 months. And then I'm going to message the manager and be like, you said a few weeks.
Oh, bye
How's
stream.
the countdown to 10?
Oh, well.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.